So welcome, SA. You are CEO of the Radian Group, and I think because of the questions I'm going to ask you in a few minutes, I really want our audience to know exactly what Radian Group does. Tell me.
Certainly. From an audience perspective, the easiest way to understand Radian is through our main business. And our main business involves making it possible for creditworthy borrowers who either do not have the capacity or do not want to tie up their money and therefore cannot put down more than 20% on their mortgage, so they put down less than 20% down on their mortgage, can get a mortgage because we guarantee that incremental credit risk. And we work in partnership with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So for borrowers looking for a Fannie or Freddie loan and putting down less than 20%, then chances are they will come to us or one of our peers.
So they'll come to you or one of your peers. And I'm just going to remind our audience that here we sit in 2013, and you joined this company 18 months before the catastrophic downturn, which was primarily focused on mortgages. How was that?
That was, needless to say, quite an experience. I came from a growth background as somebody had grown the business before me, and I didn't realize in coming to Radian that the biggest challenge I would face shortly after I got to Radian was turning things around rather than growing for the short period. But I managed somehow to combine the two in one.
Well, you did, and you did that by really, I think it sounds at least, combining a unique outlook and some extraordinary leadership capabilities. So tell us the story of how you rotated this company from what it was to what it will be in the future.
Well, we got hit fairly early in the cycle compared to our peers. So by late 2007 and early 2008, we had been hit and nobody else had been hit, and then everybody else in our industry got hit. And it is very interesting to watch how companies and leaders react when you're dealt something extraordinary like that. Most people freeze or get paralyzed. We decided early on that we were going to use it as an opportunity to transform our company, because when I came in, I wanted to change the nature of our franchise. And when at that time the real estate market was going full swing, and when the train is moving that fast, you can't change all the parts. So when the crisis hit us, we said, while dealing with our legacy exposure in the crisis, which certainly we had to deal with, we're also going to remake our franchise. So we set about putting a new team in that believed in and had the skill set to grow the franchise as opposed to the team we had. We focused on adding more salespeople. We focused on going after new customers. So since the downturn, we've added more than 1,600 customers. We more than doubled our market share. We used to be a number 3, number 4 player in our industry with about a 13% market share. We now have a 28, 29% market share. We are the leader in our business. As a result of which, we now have a book of business where increasingly more of our book is made up of profitable, high-quality business we've written since 2009. We've written about $90 billion of it, than the legacy business, which keeps shrinking. So that will allow us to return to profitability shortly.
This is almost a business miracle. I mean, do you look back and realize what on earth you accomplished during that extraordinary time?
I've always said that in much as I should not use the word lucky because I went through the downturn, I've been very lucky in my career to be surrounded by amazing people who have done things that others thought were seemingly impossible. And at Radian, I was blessed with an amazing team, some of whom I recruited and brought in. But these were people who refused to give up. And literally, one of the most often amazing and surprising things to people coming into the company outside, even during our worst years, was how upbeat and positive our people were. Because here, everybody outside was telling us that we were going to go out of business, and meantime, internally, we were focusing on growing our business, growing our market share.
Well, it's pretty amazing. And we spoke earlier off camera, and you told me the story of you as a young boy when in a family business you faced a catastrophe, and you simply stepped up as a 15-year-old to fill an extraordinary challenge. Do you ever think that those two things were connected? That in fact the seeds were sown long ago for you to be capable of this challenge?
They're connected in the sense that I think with my childhood in India and then picking up and coming to America and starting life all over, I was faced with many situations where I had to reinvent things or deal with challenges and turn them into opportunities. But it's really not as much my story as the team's story, because it always is. In some ways, when you're the CEO of a company, most people think you have the most powerful job, but you have to remember the only way it is powerful is because you're surrounded by highly dedicated, highly skilled, highly motivated people, and your job as the CEO is to make sure they're focused in the right direction, make sure you don't put unnecessary barriers their way, and let them do what they're best capable of. And that's what we did.
And not everybody's capable of that, but that is Leadership 101 right there. You nailed that. So you are running other businesses at Radian, not just the one we just discussed. So the government really expressed an extraordinary amount of trust in some of those other businesses, and I can see why, given your leadership style. So tell us that story.
We also happen to, in addition to our mortgage insurance business, we have a financial guarantee business which is run out of New York. Our mortgage insurance business is run out of Philadelphia. And in the financial guarantee business, which basically involves guaranteeing principal and interest on municipal bonds for municipalities all around the country, in fact, some outside the U.S., and in the other business, structured finance, which is these complicated CDOs where we guarantee that risk. That business also got hit pretty badly. In fact, most of the companies in that business aren't around anymore. We had $115 billion of credit risk in that business at our peak, and we decided to focus on our mortgage insurance business because that industry got broken, and we decided to shrink the business. So we have successfully shrunk our exposure from $115 billion to $30 billion, but we've done that in a way where we continue to pay dividends out of that business. And in fact, the New York Financial Services Department, which regulates that business and saw what happened in terms of the calamity with other companies melting down in New York, allowed us to take contingency reserves from that business and release that, which was amazing because they believed that what we were doing was the right thing and continued to reduce our exposure in a very disciplined manner. So again, I'm blessed with having wonderful people in that business who did, again, something that was seemingly impossible.
I think I would bet on you to do many things that are seemingly impossible, and I think maybe you should reconsider Radian Group turning into Radiant Group.
Thank you. As long as I have good people, I think we'll continue to do it.
It's very clear you'll continue to attract those. I want to thank you for sharing our story. What a great story.
Thank you.